on 35. Not a good time for that split. 3, 6, 7, 10. So Graham, if Graham stays clean, that's 249. He's well ahead of everybody else. So the battle's for the second spot. Allhouse a possible 210. Jack now only a possible 225. Glinsky a possible 237. Got it. So Glinsky still with a chance for 237. He's leading best of the rest in scratch. And the ladies still lead on the handicap side. Little working on 136 and a much needed strike for him. Jack needs this. Gets 3 for 184. So now the focus is on Glinsky. 9 spare strike and he shuts out the other 2. And Graham punches his ticket to the next round. Smee a 7 count. And Allhouse a 10 pin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. Our internet connection with the servers here once again dropped like it did earlier this afternoon. Hopefully now it is up and stable for the rest of our time. Once again, my apologies.
Allhouse with the spare, so 140 and a spare for him. Selmer with that shot knocked out Allhouse, but he's got a long way to go yet. He can only get 214. So 8 spare strike for Glinsky will be enough to clinch. Ryan Graham has already clinched his spot. And the ladies were well on their way to clinching their spots in the handicap division, both Cologne and Bazil.
Oh boy.
And this just got interesting. And Jack, I don't blame you for walking back a little bit.
Yes.
Because 7 count. We have a possibility of a tie here. If Alex makes this and strikes and Jack doubles, then that's a tie.
Yes. If Alex doesn't make this, basically Jack has to get a really good count on 2 shots, depending upon how many pins Alex gets here.
So 2 out, 202, 9 for Jack to clinch. So 9 on 2 balls for Jack is all he needs.
Oh boy.
Well, there's 6.
Yes. So if he gets 2, it's a tie.
2 to tie, 3 to advance. If I'm Jack, I'm aiming for the 1-2 pocket.
Absolutely.
Gets all 4. 204, and that is enough to move on. Over on the handicap side, Little cannot convert his split. And wrapping things up here on the scratch side, Allhouse can still get 179. Graham with the 4-pin, he can convert and get 268. But he's smartly trying a strike shot with another ball. So he's willing to concede that pin, so 267 for Graham. Bazil with the split. Two out for Callie. That's 186 for her. Still, that is enough to clinch victory because the highest Little can get is 182. And the most Smee can get is 170. So the winners have been decided. And All House ends up with 179. So rolling out the string here. Reese Little with 171. Smee makes this. It'll be 111 scratch and just misses. So 109 scratch and 158 total. So Reese Little and Cameron Smee, their evening is complete. Callie Bazil and Julietta Colon will continue. Strike for Bazil, 155 scratch, 206 to advance, and now Cologne to finish out her 10th frame. Coming up in our next match, Group B. On the scratch side will be Alexis Nyer, Dylan Zimmerman, DJ Brown, and Anthony Mastriani. And on the handicap side, Brenton Sherman, Mason Doan, Cameron Carl, and Chase Lechner. Spare up. $134 scratch, 220 for Julietta Colon. She ended up having the highest score out of the three ladies with handicap. So Matt and Parker off to the side getting all the scholarship sheets ready. While we have a chance, I want to plug for all of you who are headed to Junior Gold a chance for free practice over at Colony Park North, Monday nights 6 till 8. Starting tomorrow night through July 9th, free practice. The Prodigy with $75. So 75 to the ones who are completing their journey in this round.
He won the no tap yesterday. He won $400 for that.
And another great performance by Mr. Glinsky.
On the handicap side, finishing 7 through 10, getting a $75 scholarship, certificate and award goes to Cameron Smee.
Mr. Smee with 75.
And our other 7 through 10 finisher on the handicap side, getting a $75 scholarship and award goes to Reese Little.
And Reese Little with 75 as well.
Okay, now we'll have Group B go on in. Group B is up next for their semifinal match.
They will get 2 balls practice on each lane. Again, the practice at Colony Park North, 1900 Pennsylvania Avenue in York. It's free. Coaching is available if you need. Advice for setting up stuff for Junior Gold is available if you need as well. I will be there, my wife will be there, and we'll have a couple other coaches there as well if you would like the assistance. No need to reserve, just come on down. I believe we're putting Athens out tomorrow night. So also Colony Park North is offering practice with Specto Thursdays from 4 to 6, $10 per person per hour. That goes June 7th through July 12th. More information, you can call Jen at Colony Park North or message me on Facebook. We have a birthday. Tomorrow, June 4th. On June 4th, 2006, one Morgan Klein was born. Happy birthday, Morgan.
Happy birthday, Morgan.
The big dozen tomorrow.
Her name was mentioned on Extra Frame during Queens Week.
That's right, you were telling me. Alicia
Yes.
Current had mentioned her name as one or two of her.
Yes, her and Aiden D'Souza.
Yes, of the kids that she coaches. Other things in my pile of stuff over here to promote. DV8 shootout. With the 2 entries that I got today, we're at 155 entries so far. We had 488 last year, 522 the year before, and I can announce what ball we are giving out.
There we go. Is it round, first of all?
Yes.
That helps.
It is a ball that you saw thrown last night.
We saw a few of them.
You saw a lot of those last night. But only one was throwing a ball that looked like a Tide Pod.
Aha!
That would be Mr. Joey Pants.
Yes.
Throwing the DV8 Turmoil. Solid. That is the ball.
That's a pretty good ball from what I hear.
Now think about this. You can buy the ball at retail. I've seen it as low as, or wholesale, as low as $109. But you could get the ball and a tournament entry for less than that.
That's amazing.
But
Don't know how you pull that off every year.
But the deadline is 2 weeks from today to get that low, low price of $100. Go to juniorbowling.com, download the form, fill it out, mail it in, or email it to me with credit card information, and we'll get you signed up. I can tell you, Friday morning is 40% full. Friday night is about 35% full. So if you want Friday night, or Friday morning, please make sure to get your entry in as soon as possible.
I can tell you, usually for your tournaments, Friday night is pretty fun.
Because Plano Super Bowl, we can use 42 of the 47 lanes, and they have the largest youth program in the state of Texas. And I've gotten quite a few entries from them already. And I would not be surprised to see some of them walk in. So if you want to pay the lowest price, bowl a darn good tournament with age divisions and the brand new U17 qualifying for next year, in addition to U12, U15, and U20. Enter. Save your parents a couple $100 and try and get in to Junior Gold for Michigan in 2019, a full year before the actual event.
Same format as usual, 6 games?
Yes. 3 different shots.
Yes.
And Plano Super Bowl was the home of the U.S. Open for the women last year and the home of the PWBA Players Championship this year. So it's a house that is used to big events. In fact, it is the home house of Stephanie Johnson. She is the marketing director there.
Well, I tell you what, there's no bigger event around than the DV8 Shootout.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It'll be Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday night, Saturday night. You can bowl 1, you can bowl 2, you can bowl 3, you can bowl all 4 squads. And when you re-enter, you can get another ball if you want.
So I could pop down $400 and leave there with 4 bowling balls.
Yes, you can. And if you need it shipped home, the Pro Shop is offering shipping for $20 per ball.
Wow.
So you don't have to pay those pesky airline fees for being overweight. I believe we are ready for Group B.
Okay, bowling fans, it's time to begin our semifinal for Group B. Group B, we have Anthony Nair, Dylan Zimmerman, DJ Brown, and Anthony Mastriani. On the handicap side, we have Brenton Sherman, Mason Doe, Cameron Carl, and Chase Lecter, all with their individual handicaps in the system. Alexis Nair. Sorry. That's what I meant. Alexis. Okay. Bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our Group B semifinals.
So let me ask you something, PA Fats. How many times this weekend between both skins matches did Matt say, "How's it look?"
Well, I lost count at some point.
And my lovely wife said, "It looks like a bowling ball hitting pins." Mason Doan on 38 with the strike. Let's see, Brenton Sherman gets 86. Cameron Carl gets 42. Mason Doan gets 9, and Chase Lechner gets 40 for handicap, and Mr. Sherman with a 1 count. Alexis, 9 total in the first frame. Well, everybody get a frame in here, and then we'll recap how they got here. Zimmerman with a spare, Cameron Carl with a strike. So 2 strikes on the handicap side with a spare and a slow start by Sherman, who's up on 38 with a much better ball to start out. I bowled with Brenton Sherman's parents up at Strike Time Lanes in Valley View. 8-lane house, above ground ball returns.
Valley who?
Valley View. Where I shot my 2nd and 3rd 300s. That was a house that was left for dead. And Andy Nyer bought it at a bank sale for $50,000, brought it back, and now his friend Dave Schley manages it. And I actually worked in the snack bar during Tuesday Night League, and I cooked food for everybody while losing my shirt, not converting on strikes. And
what year are we talking about?
2005.
Okay.
03, 04, 05, I want to say.
Better shot there by Alexis.
So on the scratch side for Group B, the 4, 6, 8, and 10 seeds, Alexis Nyer, she qualified 6th, 204, 200, 160, 202, 212, 231 for plus 9. 243 and a win, 173 and a win, 245 and a win for plus 160. Dylan Zimmerman, who just left the pocket 8-10.
And blew on his fingers.
Oh. He qualified 10th, 172, 162, 235, 195, 189, 204 for minus 43. 173 and a win, 233 and a win, 222 and a win for plus 75. DJ Brown, who just left a blower, 710. Oh boy, this will be fun. He qualified 14th, 223, 187, 169, 156, 195, 206 for minus 64. 226 and a win, 245 and a win, 197 and a loss for plus 64. Finally, Michael Martell's little brother, Anthony Mastriani. Our 10th seed now, he qualified 13th, 207, 242, 173, 162, 174, 181 for minus 61. 199 and a win, 197 and a win, 202 and a win, and plus 27 to get into the final. And currently, he could be the only one who's 2 for 2 in marks, and so far so good. Over on the handicap side, our 4th seed, Brenton Sherman, 104 average, 86 handicap, 155, 106, 118, 93, 130, 96 for plus 14. 115 and a win, 101 and a win, 146 and a win for plus 124. 6th seed, Mason Doan, qualified 2nd, 189 average, 9 handicap, 198, 177, 239, 189, 206, 165 for plus 28. 183 and a loss, 209 and a win, and 176 and a loss for plus 53. I think I was 16 before I averaged 189 and threw it like he did.
I was a little older.
Yeah. Cameron Carl. He is our 8th seed. He qualified 9th, 153 average, 42 handicap. 149, 180, 168, 152, 132, 136 for minus 31. 129 and a loss, 169 and a win, 166 and a win for plus 19. And last but not least, Chase Lechner. 10th to qualify, 10th to make it in. 155, 40 handicap, 139, 146, 166, 155, 181. 136 for minus 37, 170 and a win, 163 and a win, 128 and a loss for plus 4. That is your Group B field.
In our defense, though, when we were that age, we had a bowl on lanes that were stripped once a week.
That's true.
24 feet of oil.
Oh, yeah.
That's shimmed machines.
I'm going to make this comment to Parker when he joins us in a bit. I feel like I'm in 1993 because half the equipment is urethane and the other half is reactive, and that's pretty much what the ratio was back 25 years ago. Mason Doan. Excuse me, that was Brenton Sherman who went 7-2. Chase Lechner with a nice game going so far. Alexis Nyer, she strikes, so that's 2 in a row on the right lane for her. So here's how I can describe who we've got on 35 and 36. We've got Delaware State, McKendree, out of school a couple years, and PS Meatball. By far, Anthony Mastriani, the youngest of that group.
Yes.
Still in junior high, but has accomplished a lot at his young age.
Made it to the finals of junior gold.
Youngest bowler ever to shoot 299. DJ Brown with a strike. DJ does not have, I don't believe DJ has ever won a title. And this may be his last year of eligibility. What a way, if it ends up being the Invitational, that's a heck of a way to end your career.
Yeah.
Getting your first title and getting your name on a banner for perpetuity. And there go the kids behind us. A string of 3 spares ends for Mastriani. 66 for him in the 4th. Zimmerman 47 at a strike. He's up on 36. Nyer up on 35. She's working on 49 and a strike. And DJ Brown 47 and a strike. Nyer with great speed control there. She didn't like it. I actually like that shot. So her first strike on the left lane for her. Zimmerman with a nice strike, so he doubles. Brown trying to make it 3 doubles on the left side.
One of the things that I always like watching is the first year that our bowlers go away to college, when they come back, how different of a bowler they become.
Case in point, Alex Linsky, the last match.
Yes.
I mean, when I watched him in the Skins match last night, I could tell right away something changed in his delivery, and that's the product of college coaching, and that's a darn good program that he's with SCAD, with
Absolutely.
Savannah College of Art and Design. And we're going to see 2 seasoned college veterans coming up in the scratch side when Andrew Lazarchik and Michael Martell take the lanes.
By the way, Exile, you are right. DJ does have a title. It was either doubles or adult junior at some point a year or 2 ago.
Finally won one. Good. I know he was trying for the longest time. So this would be his first singles title. Again, what Matt does, you cannot directly see now, but what he does is he has all the banners, not only from the sponsors here, but from all of our past champions of 19 seasons, going all the way back to 99, 2000, when our champions were Brett Steffen and Chad Rudy. And Steffen was Player of the Year as well, the Harry Mack Award winner. Cameron Carl up on 37, looking to convert. And cannot do it, so 110 scratch for him, making it 152. He does have the lead among that group. Again, top 2 scores from each side advance to the next round. Strike for Mason Doan. He has the least amount of handicap among the 4 boys bowling now, with only 9 pins. But he's got the lead. He's made up the handicap difference thanks to a clean game so far, 5 out of 8 strikes. Cameron Carl on 38, 3 out. He is in second. Now Chase Lechner can't get the 10 pin out. That was on a spare, that helps him. Good recovery for Cameron. So Lechner, 163 now for him. And the bad luck continues for Alexis Nye with another split. Speaking of splits, Doan's going to have to make one.
Yes, this match is definitely having a little issue getting going.
Zimmerman up on 36. Gets the 5 to go down. And a good strike from Chase Lechner. Carl was 7 on a spare. DJ Brown gets the pocket strike. He has the lead among that group. As Brenton Sherman has made a comeback here, that's a turkey for him, starting the 10th frame. The handicap side's going to get done before the scratch side, so we're going to focus on the handicap side here. Nice spare there for Cameron Carl. So Mason Doan up on 37. Focus on him as he has a chance to break 200 here. 9, that's good. So he's over 200. Now Brenton Sherman with the spare. So 224 for him. Cameron Carl working on a spare, crosses over and gets the strike. And a spare from Doan. There's some good scores here in the Handicap B group. At least among those bowlers bowling over average. Carl can't keep it on. Here's Doan with his fill ball. Gets 9 for 225. Carl is going to finish up here. With 207, so he is knocked out, and I believe Lechner's day will come to an end as well. So 2:07 for Carl, and Chase Lechner's day will wrap up as well. He ended up with 147 and then with handicap 187. So 3, 5, 8, and 10 have been knocked out in handicap, and 4, 6, 7, and 9 will continue on in handicap. So let's go to scratch now. They are in their 9th frame as Nair converts her spare, so 126 and a spare for her. Zimmerman needs count. Just looking at the other scores, Nair can do 126, Brown 236, Mastriani 200. Those are maximums, and Zimmerman missed everything, and that cost himself some pins. So 151 for Zimmerman after 9. Brown is in the driver's seat on 35. And an exclamation point for him.
I'd say he's pretty safe now.
So now the battle is for the 2nd spot, and it's Mastriani who's out in front of that and needs help. Got it. With the 9-pin falling out here. So he still has an ever so slight advantage.
Yes. Has not put a strike on the board yet, but is sitting in 2nd as long as he makes the spare.
Got it. So 139 and a spare. His max is 189, and he will finish among. He'll finish last among the 3 that are still fighting for that last spot.
Yes.
And Nair just could not get the ball to come back. 7 count. Strike for Zimmerman. Got the love tap when he needed it. Another strike by him, and good count is going to force Mastriani to make a lot of things happen here. Meanwhile, Alexis Nair's evening is complete. $152 for her. DJ Brown just needs count here on this first ball, and he'll be good to go. Gets the strike, he'll move on. So he goes forward to the next round. Big shot for Zimmerman here. Got it. So Zimmerman with 151 and a double. Cannot shut Mastriani out, but can force him with a 9 count here, can force him to double. If he gets 8, then strike spare will tie. 7 count here, and Mastriani will have to do a lot less work. Easiest thing for Zimmerman to do here is get 9 to force Mastriani to double and get count. Brown's already won his match. He's already going to be number 1 coming out. Gets the strike for 181. So a good 10th frame for him. And now that forces Mastriani to double. Meanwhile, DJ Brown finishes with 232 and he advances. So the 3 seed, the 8 seed, and the 9 seed in scratch have moved on. It's a matter now of will number 6 or number 10 move on. He needs it. Got it. Needs another one. And 3. Lost his balance a little and did not get it. Zimmerman will advance, so it is the number 6 seed moving on. And $75 scholarships each for Alexis Nair and Anthony Mastriani. $178 for Mastriani. So 3, 6, 8, 9 in scratch, and in handicap it was 4, 6, 7, 9. While we're waiting here, our parade of champions, continuing to mention here who won our events earlier this year. Our first all-girls event at ABC West went to Chloe Skurzinski and Chloe Noel. On October 1st, in the adult junior at Chacos, it was Antonio Reyes, Isaac Kim, Logan and Jean Wisniewski. Sunday, October 15th at ABC North, Tom Hankey and Kelsey Krieger won. And October 22nd, Sam Bortnick and Tori Capiello were your winners. We'll continue with October 29th in just a moment.
Bowling fans, that concludes our Group B semifinal, finishing 7th through 10th in the scratch division. Getting a $75 scholarship certificate and award goes to Anthony Mastriani. And our other 7th through 10th finisher on the scratch division, getting a $75 scholarship certificate and award goes to Alexis Nair.
Anthony Mastriani, Alexis Nair, both get $75.
On the handicap side, finishing 7th through 10th, getting a $75 scholarship certificate and award goes to Chase Lechner.
The young lads have done well today.
And officially, our other 7th through 10th finisher, getting a $75 scholarship certificate and award goes to Cameron Carl. Congratulations to all our winners. Now it is time for our final in each group. They will be bowling at the same time, but head-to-head only against each other. Okay? Scratch 4 bowlers will be over here. Handicap bowlers will be on 35 to 38.
All right, so now we get ready for match number 3. What we're doing now is we're going to flip. Scratch goes to 37 and 38. Handicap goes to 35 and 36. All bowlers that are remaining are going to bowl at the same time, but they're going to be facing those that are still left in the first match are going to be facing each other, and those that are still left in the second match are going to be facing each other. So Jack Selmer will be taking on Ryan Graham, and DJ Brown will be taking on Dylan Zimmerman. The winners of that match will move on to the Stepladder finals. On the handicap side, who were the winners?
We have from the first group, Callie Bazil and Julietta Colon, and from this recent group, Renton Sherman and Mason Doan. So those are our advancers. Now, upcoming events. Speaking of Back to the Future, we had talked about this this format here being a combination of the way we've done things the last couple of years and the way things used to be with it was 2 shootouts and 4 step ladders. Then it became the big bracket. So now it's kind of, sort of, a little bit of everything. So we had the 2 shootouts. Now we've got head-to-head matches the rest of the way.
Yes.
Speaking of Back to the Future, Parker Bone III's annual tournament goes back to the future, back to 2 days. Qualifying will be on Saturday and the finals will be on Sunday. So there will be 3 squads of qualifying on Saturday, 9, 12:30, and 4, with the finals being on Sunday. And there will be 4 divisions next year, all age-based, U12, U15, U17, U20. It is a scratch event, but girls get 7 pins per game. The entry, at least the initial entry blanks have been laid out here for PJBT bowlers. Again, the dates will be Saturday, September 1st, Sunday, September 2nd at Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. If you enter before August 17th, it's $60. After August 18th, it's $65. Visit parkerbone.com for more information. And then Danny Weissman's tournament will be Columbus Day weekend, Saturday, October 6th, Sunday, October 7th. 3 squads of qualifying on Saturday and the finals on Sunday. And the only way you can enter will be online through PJBTBowlingSeries.com. You can find out more here on the website, PJBTBowlingSeries.com, as that info becomes available. And sometime in July, entries will open up. Again, there will be a discount for bowlers wishing to bowl all 3 squads, and bonuses offered as well. Continuing with our parade of winners, we got up to the end of October. The combined PJBT-JBT event at AMF Conchester Lanes in Boothwyn was won by Ryan Goddard and Morgan Gitlitz. Then we had our 2 events at Parkway. Bowling Center Championship was won by a team from Howell, New Jersey. Joey Ocello, Ryan Carlisi, Ryan Taylor, Justin Bone, Brandon Bone. And then team from Pottsville won the handicap division. Alec Carl, Brad Brown, also Taylor Benner, Corey Rinda, and Brandon Updike. Then the following weekend at the doubles at Parkway, Gene Blair, Joey Chufo won scratch. Corey Rindo and Jake Gilbert won in handicap. How did Parkway go this year? I ask because they're under new ownership.
Well, this is all I'm going to say. I wasn't there.
You were not there. Okay.
We, the Prodigy and I, went up to Ryan Schaefer's tournament up in Corning, New York. That day.
And then the adult junior back here at Limerick. The winners were Joey Ocello and Eric Nilsson, and Alex and William Cron. And then the Pop Tomek was moved to Suburban Bolorama, where Dylan Zimmerman and Julietta Colon were the winners, and that takes you up through November. Dylan Zimmerman and DJ Brown will face each other, and Ryan Graham and Jack Selmer will face each other on 37 and 38. And then on 35 and 36, it is Callie Bazil and Julietta Colon. Julietta gets 35, and then Brenton Sherman and Mason Doan, and Brenton gets 77.
That's some big numbers they have to get.
Okay, bowling fans, it's time for the group finals. On the scratch side, your right pair, 37 and 8. Group A, it is Jack Selmer versus Ryan Graham in an individual match. In Group A. Group B is Dylan Zimmerman versus DJ Brown. On the handicap side, we have Callie Bazil taking on 35 pins going to Julietta Cologne. On the Group B, we have Brenton Sherman taking on Mason Doan, and Brenton gets the handicap of 77. Bowling fans, these winners of each match will then bowl each other in the first of our 3 step ladders for today's final. Let's give them a nice round of applause as they begin.
All right, off we go.
Again, winners in handicap will advance and bowl each other, and then the winner ultimately will bowl Kelsey Krieger, and Allison Stakowitz is our top seed. Again, Andrew Lazarchik, second seed, Michael Martell, first seed in scratch. Selmer starts off his match with a strike against Ryan Graham. So the opponents are across from each other. Easiest way to remember that as you watch on your screens. Your picture may be a little cut off on the left side, so Callie Bazil is the first one up on 35, and Brenton Sherman is second up on 35.
Let's fix that.
You have the ability to do that, Mr. Switcher. That's more better.
Not yet.
Well, I'm looking at preview.
Yes.
So if you need a 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th set of eyes, you've got them here. These darn transitions lenses better work somehow. They work. They look good. They have the new PBA Exciter displays where they're actually using some updated footage from past PBA champions and championship matches to display strikes and spares and counts. I'm sure the pros that are involved in the misses are happy to see themselves over and over again.
Absolutely. And there was at times when I was watching last night, there was a camera somewhere that was taking pictures too. And like where the bowlers' names are, a picture would show up of them.
These new scores have the ability to do that. You can actually put a photo of each bowler right by that. What time did we start finals? Not early enough. I'm kidding. It was right around 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Trying to keep track of how this.
Wait a minute. Did I just hear Matt try and keep track of time?
That is surprising. He must be tired.
I can't believe that. Matt's concerned about time. And it's a school night. Let's get Skip Moyer on the other mic here. We haven't heard from him yet.
I'm going to let him take over for me for a minute.
Gotcha. Josh Sadazan, better known as Skip Moyer, the more recent assistant director here at the PJBT.
Nothing wrong with sitting with my hairless friend up here. Travis, how we doing?
We are doing fine.
I think the worrying about time thing kind of clocked out at 4 o'clock. Because I'm used to going home from these around 6 o'clock. And it's going to be after 9 when we get out of here, so.
Well, I warned my wife I wouldn't be home till 11:30, so. She should have known when we went to 11 o'clock last night with Skins. But it is what it is.
Yeah. After tonight, pretty much the main part of season 19 is in the books.
Yeah, just two postseason events left, one of which is PJBT with the Masters next week in the Lehigh Valley, and then the following weekend Best, which PJBT helps coordinate. JBT actually does all the paperwork and keeping of the scholarships. PJBT pretty much provides support, plus the broadcasting of the event. That's that'll do it for this season due to the fact if you missed the opening ceremonies this morning that Matt is moving.
Yes.
And we'll be homeless for a while.
And that's something we're all involved in.
Because you're actually going to give him a temporary home for a little bit.
For about a month or two, yes.
I know that situation all too well. Because when I got my first radio job outside of Eastern PA, I actually was offered a spare room by the manager of Bellefonte Lanes, a dear friend of mine, Denny Jaworski. And I lived with his family for a month before my apartment was ready. So I know a little bit what Matt's going through. It was only me. It wasn't a family of 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a 6 and a 4-year-old running up and down my steps.
Yes. Enjoy that.
Yes.
He says with a wry smile. In the initial matches here of crossover play for the group play, Jack Selmer, 24 and a spare, facing Ryan Graham, up 39 and a strike. DJ Brown left a 5-10. He's going to fall behind if Dylan Zimmerman strikes in this third frame here.
Dylan has a pretty good look here through 2 frames with the double. Going to be looking for the 3-bagger here on 37.
And he was clutch in the 10th frame last game to move on to this point, striking out in the 10th after leaving a split. Shot 181.
Over on the handicap side, Julietta misses her 4-7. As we watch Dylan throw his third frame here, comes in just a hair light, leaves the 2-8. Julietta Cologne versus Callie Bazil.
Bazil,
about
2 out of 3. Yep.
43, about a 40-pin lead there for Julie after 4. As Mason goes left.
I like the power that Mason puts behind the ball here. It's my first time watching him. He got his name called Friday night. Ended up getting a little bit of scholarship money.
Mason's one of our young bowlers who's really starting to come around, and maybe in 2 or 3 years we're going to start seeing a little bit of scratch division out of him.
Well, 189 average. That'll definitely go up over the summer. Good spare by Zimmerman. Yep.
Did Denny Hamlin wind up winning the race?
No, he crashed. That's what I had told you. 10 to go, and Denny crashed. Martin Truex ended up winning.
Okay, he's all right.
It was pretty much Harvick, Busch, Kyle Busch, and Truex the entire race up front. Blaney started on the pole but fell back. But ended up being a nice crowd at Pocono, and Martin Truex wins pretty close to home.
Ryan Graham there goes 5-2, or 5-3 rather, in the 4th frame. Give him 65 in the 4th. Jack Selmer with 44 in the 3rd, working on a strike. So about a slim 10-pin lead for Ryan. Jack can even the match here with a double in the 5th. DJ Brown up now on lane 37.
Brenton Sherman had a slow start last game and then struck 3 in a row late to get into this position, and now I think he's found his stride here. He got made the spare there, and right after a strike, so he's got the lead in his match with Mason. As Mason leaves 2-5. Again, Brenton is getting 77, so Doan needs all the marks he can get.
Spare there for DJ Brown. DJ down 24.
And Doan chops. So maximum for, we're talking maximums already here in the 5th frame here. 215 is Mason Doan's maximum, and Brent Sherman's already got 114. At the pace that Sherman is going, now that he's starting to get marks, he could be moving on. Jack with a double. We were trying to figure this out as we're going through all of our champions this season, and we were talking about last night, and we couldn't think off the top of our heads who the handicap winners were in the adult junior, because we know there was a tie.
It was Joe Pelusic and Maddox Millen.
Maddox Miller, that's who it was. Okay.
Yeah, Maddox Milan, M-I-L-I-A-N. L-A-N. And then the Schaefer family, Jordan and her father, or Jaden and her father.
Jaden and Dad Schaefer. Okay.
Yes. And then your scratch winners were the Nair family.
They had a darn good night last night.
Yes. Anthony just keeps on shooting 300 games. Also was our scratch division most improved bowler today.
Zimmerman with the 3, 4, 6, 7. He gets 2 out of that, so 94 in the 5th.
Summer now up on 38 for his 6th frame, looking for a 3-bagger. Leaves the pocket 5-7.
Threw at 17.5 miles an hour, and that just seemed to skid a little bit on him.
Matt, Jack needs an 8 count. Jack needs an 8 count. Didn't register the 5 pin.
Attaboy, make him work.
That's what he does it to me. See you in a couple days. We're back here on the 12th.
I'm going to be in the Football Expo out in Vegas.
Okay.
Ryan Graham at 8 count. So the lead is still 7 for Jack, but he needs to make this.
This is 2 down.
And 1 out of 2 for Jack.
What a host I am.
All right, that's all right. There's not really that much to do. Are you?
And Graham gets both, so he retakes the lead. Sherman, a 4-5 split. Meanwhile, Mason Doan with 74 scratch in the 6th and has a lot to make up here. DJ Brown. The strike. And strike for Mason Doan. Nice spare by Sherman, making the 4-5. You were just talking with manager Chris Boozer here. I want to congratulate his daughter Haley, being one of the first recruits to Mount St. Mary's University down in Eldersburg, Maryland. It is their first D1 bowling team that will take to the lanes next year. Their home will be Sunshine Lanes in Waynesboro. I want to wish Coach Kenny DeGraff all the best with his squad next year.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that a couple months ago, and very proud indeed, as he should be, of her being able to be a part of that. Never anything wrong with a school taking on a bowling team.
No.
We'd like to see a little bit more of it.
We don't have, in fact, here in Central PA, we don't have any.
Yeah, no.
I mean, now, not since Matt left Penn State Berks has there been a a bowling team in this area on a competitive level, even at a club level. I mean, back when
just Kutztown right now.
Yeah, that's been it for the ladies. It's just Kutztown. You got to go either to Mount St. Mary's or down to like Morgan State or Delaware State.
You got to drive a good 3 hours to find a good competitive women's team.
Or out to Altoona, out to St. Francis. So going to be interesting locally with women's bowling this year, and kind of excited to follow that next year. So Sherman, 92 in the 8th. That's his scratch score. With handicap, he's got 169, and the most Mason Doan can get in their match is 194. Callie Bazil still needs to make up the handicap in her match. Zimmerman gets the 9 to roll. Handicap's going to finish up first, it looks like, so we'll focus in on them first as Cologne leaves a 5-10. Bazil absolutely needs the spare. Brown got his, so he stays within 11.
Julie Cologne, 2 titles on the year. She won our first 2 AM tournament 2 weeks ago. Also our Pop-Tomic winner.
Graham can't get it to come back. What an interesting match
this
that
has
has
a
become.
chance. Ooh. Good try there for Julie.
Selmer to take the lead. Gets it. Lead will be at least 5 for him, depending on what Graham does here. Graham cannot convert, so the lead just widened.
The winner of these 2 matches will take on Michael Martel and Andrew Lazarchik based on seeding. And the winner of that match will bowl each other for the title. Brenton Sherman makes his spare, and that match is pretty much looking like it's over. Mason Doan needs to spare and strike out to have any chance.
Doan can get, actually I think that might be over.
Yes, it is, because Brenton's already at 179, so now it really doesn't matter.
So Brenton Sherman will advance. And Brenton will face one of the ladies. Zimmerman answers with a strike. So he, down 29, is keeping himself in it. Might have over-exaggerated with how much he's down. Actually, he was up in his match with DJ Brown, excuse me. He was up 29.
Julie needs 5 here on her second ball to finish up the match.
That's trouble. That's 3, so
That's
100
3.
for
So,
135. This is an important spare. We could have a tie here.
Spare strike and we have a tie. And that's trouble too. And it will be Julie and Brenton moving on.
Yeah, we have a Christmas tree on 35. Matt, 35. So at least we have those matches decided already. So we can focus fully on scratch here as Jack needs to make this plain and simple.
That will not get it done.
Only 2 for 144, so he has a maximum of 174. But that match, it's still not over.
Not at all.
Ryan would have to double. He would need to fill 24 to shut him out. Meanwhile, Sherman with handicap could break 200.
Jack Summer gets up here and throws the first two. That will make Ryan have to double.
Zimmerman with a strike. Zimmerman, if he strikes out, would get 234. Jack cannot get the 10 pin.
Matt, 10 pin on.
10 pin on 38. And here's the shot from Ryan.
Crosses over.
So Ryan needs to make this and get 5, right? Or 4.
164 is the most Jack can get. If he spares and gets 4, that's 165. So spare and 4, and he's got it. Final scores over on the handicap side, it was 206-147 Sherman over Doan, and Cologne over Bazil 135-124.
We have to phone a friend in down there to get our 10 pin set up. The new video system here for the scoring.
And need the score fixed too.
Matt, you got to fix the score too.
He's writing up the scholarship sheets as we speak.
Spare there for Salmer. So now Graham must make this spare. And that should do it.
Well, now it's count. $161 for Jack, which means Ryan needs to keep it on the lane. $171 for Jack, for Dylan, or excuse me, for Ryan. Wrote the wrong names down here. So now, Dylan and DJ. DJ with a possible, we can max for 202, which would still force DJ to show up.
And that's going to do it for DJ.
10 pin. Count to clinch for Zimmerman. Zimmerman and Graham in the next game. While we are letting them finish, continue our parade of champions here. Our first stop at Blue Valley Lanes ever yielded championships for Alex Glinsky and Mary Beth Baker.
Alex shooting 807 in qualifying.
Sunday, December 10th, the adult junior at Clearview. Congratulations, Gene Blair and Danny Weissman, and Aaron and Jill Moore. They were winners there. December 17th, doubles, Joey Ocello, Antonio Reyes, and Chloe Noel, Matt Forey. December 23rd, the girls event, Olivia Farwell and Ala Harris. The Rotogrip tournament, our family's Pro Shop event, went to Alex Sorge and Jonathan Paulison. And then New Year's Eve at Strike Zone, Jack Selmer and Tyler Barnhart were winners there, as Dylan Zimmerman shoots 233 to DJ Brown's 170. So Dylan and Ryan Graham in the next match, and Brenton Sherman and Julietta Colon in our next handicap match. And that'll be the first of the step ladders.
And that will effectively end the youth career, PJBT, for Jack Selmer.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our group finals. Finishing officially in 6th place, getting a $125 scholarship and scratch and award goes to DJ Brown.
DJ Brown, your 6th place finisher.
And our 5th place finisher in the scratch division, getting a $125 scholarship and award goes to Jack Selmer.
Jack Selmer finishing 7th. Your 2017-18 Player of the Year.
All right, our 6th place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $125 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to Callie Bazil. And our 5th place finisher in handicap, getting a $125 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to Mason Doan. Okay, we are all set for our first of 3 stepladder matches. Stretch division back on the left pair. It will be Ryan Graham against Dylan Zimmerman. And on the handicap side, it'll be Julietta Colon versus Brenton Sherman.
So they'll get their 2 balls practice on each lane before we start, as we get down to the last 3 matches here. I told Matt I have a curfew of midnight, so hopefully we're out of here at a reasonable enough time that I don't get my fanny whacked when we get home.
Interesting stat this year. I don't know if you had heard this or not, but I believe out of all the tournaments Jack Selmer bowled, his percentage of making the cut was over 90%.
That ranks up there with one of the best.
Yes.
I know when Jen was bowler of the year, she only missed 2 cuts. In one of the years, she bowled 30 events, and I think just missed 2 cuts. That was it.
That's about the same. It was 2 to 4 that Jack missed, and it wasn't many. And a lot of those cuts he made were always cash spots too.
Okay, bowlers, you can begin your practice. 2 balls on each lane.
Again, a reminder, if you're just joining us, if you're going to Junior Gold, #1 DV8 shootout, up to 155 entries, and Friday is a 1/3 sold out already. If you want in on Friday, get the entries in early, juniorbowling.com to download the flyer, or come to the events either next weekend or the following weekend at best. As long as the envelope is postmarked by June 19th, you can get the $100 entry rate, and you get the DV8 turmoil this year.
And those squads will sell out.
Yes.
Guaranteed those squads will sell out.
I can only fit 168 this year. For sure they'll sell out, because Friday night I went 192 last year. And if you are going to Junior Gold and you are within driving distance of Colony Park North, North is offering free practice Mondays from 6 to 8 on Sport Shots. I believe Athens will be put out tomorrow. Good medium pattern. So coaching available if needed. Junior Gold planning available if needed as well. If it's your first time going to Junior Gold, you're not sure how to handle everything and timing for everything, make sure you stop by and make sure that you just come on in between 6 and 8 Monday nights, starting tomorrow night, going through July 9th.
And we can't stress to you enough how much how important practice is. And we can't stress enough how important practice is for going to junior gold. You're never ready. You're never ready. You got to go, and you can never be too ready, I guess I should say.
Right.
So
This is probably the first and only event that you can use 5 bowling balls, and that's it.
Yes.
Over at least 4 days.
And for some bowlers, that's going to be a decision.
And also with junior gold this year is you're going to have a house in Dallas, a house in Fort Worth, and 2 in between. So you're going to, regardless of where you're staying, you're going to have to travel. And good luck if the furthest house you have to go to is a morning squad, a 7:30 a.m.
You're
squad.
7 a.m. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right, I'm going to skip out of here.
I believe Parker's going to come in for the next either the Fat Man or Parker will be back in here.
We'll get somebody in here, buddy. I'll be back before the end of the night sometime.
That's fine. Thank you. Matt getting the decisions from both sides as we await the end of practice here. If you're scoring at home, Ryan Graham is the 9 seed. Dylan Zimmerman is the 6 seed. And among those left in the handicap side, Brenton Sherman is the 4 seed, and Julietta Colon is the 9 as well. 9s are wild here on the first match here of Stepladders. After this, 2 more to go, and we crown our champions.
Okay, bowling fans, it's time to begin our quarterfinal match in the Stepladder. We have number 6 seed, Dylan Zimmerman, taking on number 9 seed, Ryan Graham. Dylan has elected to start the match on 35. On the handicap side, we have number 4 seed, Brenton Sherman, taking on number 9 seed, Julietta Colon. Brendan has elected to have Julietta start the match on lanes 37, and they have the exact same entering average, so there's no handicap on the handicap side. Bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our quarterfinal matches.
Change of plans. I'm going to hang out till somebody else says get out.
Okay. I am welcome to that.
Our handicap match here, Julietta Colon against Brenton Sherman, straight up scratch.
That's how we like it. Zimmerman has going to roll the first shot here as Cologne leaves a split to start off the 5-7. And a nice strike for Zimmerman. We'll continue our parade of winners throughout here as now we are into January. Heister Lanes, Isaac Erickson and Aiden Bergen won at Heister. Our major in January at ABC East, won by Daniel Allhouse. And as I open my book here and try and read my handwriting, Zach Malinowski. The Trindle doubles event on January 21st was Joey Ocello and Tom Hankey, Aaron Moore and Bradley Ruth in handicap. And then January 28th at Hanover, Jack Selmer and Desmond Brown were the winners. As Ryan Graham leaves a 2-4-10 and Brenton Sherman with a strike. Spare for Ryan Graham. Nice shot.
It's a good start.
Want to give kudos to the rest of the field who competed earlier today. Also competing in scratch and making the cut, Joey Ocello, Tony Lutz, Olivia Farwell, Curtis Stidd, Justin Bone, Alexander Horton, Brandon Bone, Matthew Ward, Greg Matievich, Anthony Nyer, Caitlin Garman, Antonio Reyes, Gene Blair, Aiden D'Souza, Emily Tell, a toll rather. Jordan Schell, Ryan Taylor, and Ryan Goddard. They all made the cut, the first cut in scratch. And in handicap, also making the cut, C.J. Laubach, Zach Wenzel.
Thank you.
Stephen Uhas V, Drew Jaquith, Sidney Bone, Corey Rinda, Mary Beth Baker, Morgan Klein, Caitlin Mattingly, Matthew Meadhan, Jonathan Polison, Tyler Barnhart, Brandon Stark, Brianna Polasic, Brendan Hutziker, Jacob Gilbert, Zach Malinowski, and Desiree Dent. Those were our first cut makers in handicap. Zimmerman, a little too far outside, leaving the 2-pin.
Over on the handicap side, Brenton Sherman started off with strike and a spare. Open in the first frame for Julie. She has her 2-pin here to get her first mark of the match. Looks pretty good. She gets her spare. And Brenton with an early 11-pin lead.
Winner in handicap of this match gets Kelsey Krieger. And winner in scratch gets Andrew Lazarchik, as we are even on the scratch side.
This will be this final match here today on the scratch side will be the 4th final in a row for Michael Martell.
A win, and a second. And the second coming last year. Strike.
In a match that came down to the 10th frame.
That left a lot of us speechless.
Yes. Hello, Ben Rhines.
First thing I told Martell when I saw him today, no missing 7 pins here. He's already said this will be his last PJBT. He goes to Robert Morris of Illinois. He's gonna stay out in Chicago and find some full-time work next year. So this is his last year at juniors anyway. He would have had 2 more years in PJBTs, but he's going to be staying out there and working and advancing in his life.
I'm sure we certainly have not seen the last of him, though, but he's going to be missed.
I agree. Nice spare by Graham. Keep that match even.
All righty. I am going to bail out, and I am going to let our next mystery guest come on in.
Next mystery guest. That's a very generic term to give this next mystery guest. But always the pleasure to work with a Hall of Famer. Hello, sir.
How are you tonight?
I am doing fine, sir.
That's great.
Glad you could be with us here for, I believe this is, Matt says it's your 18th out of 19 years with us. I think he's right. I wasn't there the first couple of years, so.
That's okay. They're very, I'll say from its inception, it's been really, really cool. And unfortunately, one year I could not make it. I think that the tour kind of prevailed and took over that spot why I couldn't show up that specific weekend. But more importantly, it's all about the kids this weekend, and especially here as we're down into 2 matches before we culminate at the title match here. So it's been an awesome, awesome day.
So my first question for you. Did you tell Kim Terrell-Carney last night not to hit the pocket at all?
I told her, I said, Kim, don't worry about it. If you throw it in the gutter, Matt's got your back the whole way.
And Matt's been walking a lot easier today, too, with $2,000 less worth of change in his pocket, yes.
Yeah, I heard he got hit pretty good last night.
1,020 on the adult side and 1,040 on the youth side.
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, and trust me when I say this, for all the years that I've been fortunate to do that, it could very easily happen to me when I'm out there.
Mm-hmm.
We have all, as not just professionals, but as any given bowler will tell you, we've all had our good days, our subsequent days, And those catastrophic days that you look at and go, my God, I can't get out of my own way.
Yep.
And to Kim's benefit, she certainly knows how to bowl. She's
Yes.
an accomplished champion, a great, great player, someone who's qualified and is enshrined in the Hall of Fame. But unfortunately, no different than me, believe it or not, no different than you and everybody else, we all have off days.
Yes.
And that being said, an off day could be where your ball misses the pocket and gets 6, and when it gets to the pocket, it gets 9. And then when you have these youngsters, whether it's on the kid side or the adult side, that can strap the living daylights out of it, and they throw the head pin into the right and left wall respectively like it's balsa wood. You know, she gets up there and rings a 10 or goes a little high and leaves a 4 pin, and they sit there and laugh and go, ha, we're going to add more money to the pot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which they did.
Yeah, they did pretty helpfully.
To their credit, especially in the late frames, when $30 was added in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th frame of every shot that they got better than Kim. So that raised the jackpot significantly.
Yeah, I heard that she, what was it, one of the $30 frames, I think she had 7 and 7 or 6 and 7 or?
Yeah, she went, I think 7 and 7. It left the exact same thing on both lanes. And I know one youth pair, she went just a hair light and left the bucket. I think it was a 6 count last night too, so.
I can relate to that. That's how I lost to get out of the, I was eliminated on our own skins game on Friday night.
That's right, yes.
Anthony Pepe went 3, 6, 7, and I got up, and all I needed was 8 or better, and, well, you would have thought that was a given, but as it was, a little left off my hand. I'm waiting for it to come back, and it did. It came back, and the head pin flew right around the bucket. 6.
Yeah. Of course, you turn back the clock 21 years, and that's the way you won a title.
Mm-hmm. You're exactly right. And you know what? It was worth a lot more at that moment in time when Walter Ray left the bucket at me. So, how's things shaping up here in our not title matches, but in our actually quarterfinal match, if you want to look at it that way.
This is quarterfinal, and if you're just joining us, it is a scratch match in handicap because they both have the same handicap. Julieta up, trying to essentially tie the match here. Gets 9, so she'll stay within 11. Meanwhile, Dylan Zimmerman playing Dutch 200 right now, and still has a little bit of a lead. In fact, does have the lead over Ryan Graham.
Yeah, but look at Ryan Graham. First frame, 7 count split spare. Strike in the second frame. Third frame, 7 count split spare. I mean, you know, we talk about premium on shot making and more importantly, filling frames, because you can make the best shot in the world and it can result in 8 or 9. Mm-hmm. You still have to get up there and figure out how to fill the frame, and we all know 7-10s are nearly impossible, but Ryan is hanging in there, giving himself the opportunity to, let me say, sneak along and then figure something out right at the tail end of the game, and you turn 2 or 3 in a row, and the next thing you know, you find out things are in your favor.
Well, Dylan, he just figured out the right lane. His strike was the first of the game there, so 80 and a double for him as his lead. If you want to use max score as the indicator, he's got a 15-pin lead currently on Graham.
There's no doubt that 15-pin lead is good, but when you look that he still has 4 complete frames yet to bowl, we're not going to jinx anybody, but a 9 spare on a great shot anywhere in the middle of a string of strikes can turn a 15-pin lead into a 6-pin deficit real quick.
Cologne misses the spare, has 87.
Throw him like that, you don't have much to worry about,
He
though.
knew right off his hand that he got it, yeah. So I got a riddler for you. Let's see if you can figure this out, what I did today. And this is the first time telling anybody about this. Let's see if you can figure this out, how I did this.
Oh, you're going to put me on a spot here.
There will be some math. So my wife, Jen, who is watching at home, hello, dear. We practiced a little bit this morning. She's going to bowl the PWBA stop in Harrisburg in 2 weeks. So we're practicing today. And I practiced alongside with her. I had one game I threw 13 shots for the game and shot 270. No gutter balls. And 12 of the 13 shots, the 10-pin fell. How did I do it?
12 of the 13 shots, the 10-pin fell. How did you do it? But you didn't have a gutter ball.
Correct.
Were foul lights on? Did you foul?
No, I did not.
All right, then you must have went one spare somewhere and a 10-pin on a fill ball. Reverse it the other way. 10-pin somewhere and then one spare.
No, I shot one on the fill ball.
One on a fill ball. Why'd you want to do one on a fill ball? Just for something different?
Yes. I had 279 if I wanted to, but I wanted to practice a 10-pin, and I got the 10-pin all by itself. So I had 21 in the fill for 270.
I'd say rather nice game.
Thank you.
Now, you want to know what's really funny about that? I'm going to tell you one that happened to a player on tour one time.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
And it's, believe it or not, it could have been the same story, but in a different way. I was crossing with a player not far from here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and we were bowling qualifying. And if you've ever been at Eastway Lanes in Erie, Pennsylvania, you'll notice down at lane 1, there's a catwalk, like most bowling centers. Well, the player I'm bowling with happens to be left-handed, and he had the first 7 strikes in a row in the game.
Oh, boy.
And when I tell you this, he could have gotten up in the 10th and struck out in the 10th for 270 on the nose, literally throwing a shot out the door.
Okay.
Now, somebody will say, out the door.
Yep.
When he got up in the 8th frame on lane 1, he went to throw the ball. It hung up in his hand. It went up in the air, came down, hit the edge of the lane perfectly, bounced completely over the gutter capping on lane 1, went down the catwalk all the way down, hit the door opened, the ball went in and the door shut.
Wow.
So, some pretty convincing strikes right there.
Zimmerman is on a roll.
He's on a mission right now. So, the player makes a spare after the unofficial gutter ball. Strikes in the 9th. He could have got up in the 10th, threw 3 in the 10th, and literally shot 270, throwing one shot out the door.
Graham with a strike here. 224 is the most he can get. Zimmerman already with 200 before throwing a shot in the 10th.
Graham has to throw all 3 in the 10th, and then he needs some unfortunate, catastrophic help by Dylan Zimmerman, and I just don't see it happening right now. He's playing the lane perfectly. He's going up the lane. He's got total control of everything that's going on. But as a player, you know what? You got to try to get every pin you can, because you literally never know until the last ball is thrown what the score will read. So much for that.
And that just about does it, as Zimmerman can go up and fast track the 10th. Meanwhile, 10th frame here on the handicap side. Mr. Sherman, 145 is his ultimate goal, and he might get it all here. He gets 8.
Tell you what, he's not taking any time. He grabbed that ball in his hand, he was gone.
He spares, he wins. Because he'll have 136 and a spare, total 146. If he does not get any here, that's 142, and still leaves the door open for Cologne.
Looks like a pretty good shot there.
Got it. That's a win. So Brenton Sherman goes to the semifinal against Kelsey Krieger. And Zimmerman can afford to throw a bad shot now.
Well, the one thing for sure, there's no real pressure on him at that moment. It was kind of an easy shot. It wasn't really, I'll say, using his legs and thrusting forward, so to speak. So, easy shot off his hand. He probably should have used it a little bit more as practice, and I don't know that he was exactly doing that, but whatever the case may be, he's advanced to the semifinals.
We're going to let you present the awards for 4th place. Let you take a timeout here. You'll be back with us in a bit.
I will. Thank you.
So Dylan Zimmerman with victory. And now they'll stay on the same pair, as Matt has just let them know, which Dylan is very happy to hear. Ryan finishes with 188. Dylan can shoot 239 here. Meanwhile, Brenton 149 with his victory, and Julietta will wrap it up here and head back to Brooklyn with a 4th place finish in the Invitational. Spare is good, so she can finish with as high as 134. Dylan 239, 188, a 51-pin victory for him in the quarterfinal. He will now face Andrew Lazarchik. And next up for handicap side will be Kelsey Krieger. Continuing our parade of winners while we wait for Matt here. February 4th on Super Bowl Sunday at Dutch. Winners were Anthony Nyer and Bethany Jakewith. And February 11th at East Lincoln, Cody Kishis and Aaron Moore were your winners. All right, we got 4th place awards to go here.
Okay, our 4th place finishers officially this year in the scratch division, getting a $200 scholarship certificate, our defending champion from last year, Ryan Graham.
Nice $200 payday for Mr. Graham.
And our 4th place finisher officially in the handicap division, getting a $200 scholarship certificate, goes to Julietta Colon. Okay, on to our semifinal.
And wrapping up February at Midway Lanes in Carlisle, Newhouse this year. Anthony and Andy Nyer were winners in the adult junior. And then Anthony Nyer came back to win at Town and Country along with Morgan Klein at Town and Country Lanes on February 25th. Yes, go ahead and grab your drink, Mr. Bone. You'll need liquid refreshment when you're back here.
I just needed the 2-minute break. Got to go
yes.
hand some awards and give out a little hardware and get ready for the semifinal match.
With a gentleman you're very familiar with watching from your home state of New Jersey, Mr. Lazarchik.
Yeah, Andrew's, he just spent his first full year at McKendree out there in the St. Louis area. And I'll say, like every other college athlete, especially when it comes to the sport of bowling, probably stood to learn quite a bit when you're out there. You know, a lot of these young bowlers, there's no question that they're really good. And some of them are going to be certainly a little bit more polished than others. But no matter how good they are and how polished they are, it's amazing when they get out a little bit more into the real world where they're not under mom and dad's wing, you know, in their own bed at home, so to speak. And then I got to really understand the meaning of life. And, you know, every class may not be as smooth as you want it to be. Every day on the lanes is certainly not as good as you want it to be. But you have many more good days on the lanes because of the opportunity or the bowler that you are. But you have to learn how to really deal with those ups and downs. And I think for anybody, once you actually leave your house, when you grow up, 18, 19, 20, just to use a figurative number, what you think you know about life all of a sudden reality kicks in.
And we haven't mentioned this on the webcast, at least not that I'm familiar with, and only those who are friends with Andrew on Facebook and his family are familiar with his situation. His mom passed away when he was still at home in high school, so his dad had some health problems earlier, but he's here. He's looking great. I saw him earlier today. He's doing fine, and he had to grow up a lot quicker than usual, and he's handled it well.
In Andrew's life as we know it today, he's gone through things in life right now that most people don't deal with until they're probably 80 years old or possibly never. His dad had a massive stroke, literally massive stroke, and was pronounced dead 3 different times over a 24 to 48 hour period right in front of Andrew. And fortunately, everything turned around good there. Dad is on the heels of recovery, sitting right here watching his son bowl, and then unfortunately, something catastrophic happens to his mom, and she's here with us. I'll say on Friday night and Saturday morning, everything's fine, and 36 hours later, unfortunately, she's up in heaven. So he's been through a rough stage, but let's turn it into bowling. Mom's going to be looking down on him. Dad's here to support him right now, and I'm going to believe in my heart that although he's qualified second for today's tournament, he's hungry. He wants to be at a winner when it's all said and done.
And you got 2 McKendree teammates here, with Zimmerman being spending his first semester out there, and Lazarchik also making the trip out there this year as well. So we've got teammates here in this match. And then on the other side, young Brenton Sherman taking on Kelsey Krieger, and Brenton will get 31 pins. We'll make it official with Matt here right now.
Okay, PJBT fans, it is time for our semifinals of the Invitational. We have number 2 seed Andrew Lazarchik taking on Dylan Zimmerman. He has elected to have Dylan start the match on lane 35. On the handicap side, we have number 2 seed Kelsey Krieger taking on number 4 seed Brenton Sherman. The difference in handicap is 31 pins going to Brenton, and Kelsey has elected to have Brenton start the match on 37. Bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our Invitational semifinal matches.
I'd also like to compliment you, if I may, or maybe this is Leslie. Your annual tournament is back to being a 2-day event next year.
Yeah, we, it's a combination of Leslie, but I'll say equally important. We look forward to hearing what the kids have to say about that. And the kids are getting a little bit older now. Obviously, their friends, they talk more to the teenagers of the bowling world, especially here on the East Coast. And this is what they've come up with. They want to see something that has a little bit more qualifying squad opportunities, so to speak, not just one and done or possibly 2 and done. So we've made it 3 different squads, 1 less game, but there's going to be a cut squad and or match play that we're going to do there for Sunday. We haven't totally finalized that yet, as we watch a great shot by Andrew there to tie the match and after frame 1, but it's going to be really a fantastic weekend.
So save
all
the
over
date.
Labor Day.
Yep, Saturday and Sunday, the qualifying Saturday, final Sunday, doubles Friday. You're going to do that again?
Yeah, we're going to do the doubles Friday night. So that'll be the kicker to the tournament start. Now, obviously, the doubles that we do is unique. It's different. They go out there and they bowl 2 games of some sort of qualifying, and then we put everybody on a Baker system, let them go out there and bowl a Baker where they're alternating back and forth, and then we cut to 8 teams. That the 8 teams, 1 game elimination, and try to wrap things up because obviously Saturday turns into be a long day.
Strikes all around for the scratch side to start with. Kelsey Krieger up here on 37. She'll look to add to her spare. As far as the PBA goes, big news this past, it was made public this past week, at least on Facebook, with the end of the ESPN era with the PBA and now going to Fox, and then the schedule release also for 2019. Got a busy year ahead of you here. With well, I know you've got the national tour and the senior tour, but as far as just the national tour goes, that's a busy year, and there's going to be a lot more live TV next year too.
It's absolutely incredible what's taking place right now. The fact that the PBA has connected with a great deal with Fox to be not only on Fox Sports but major network Fox TV, a couple of significant events. It's just really outstanding. And when I say it's outstanding, you know, Travis, I know where I stand in the bowling world right now. Parker Bone is not 25 or 30, the young gun, energetic and going out there and get him. He's still energetic, but he's energetic in a little bit of a different way now. Watching my own children, or our own children, from, you know, Leslie and my standpoint there. But more importantly, I'm happy as can be for all the guys that are roughly 20 to 35. Maybe they're mid-30s. They've got the world out in front of them. They're in the height of their career with, I'll say, really they were running into a small stumbling block, although the PBA was doing the best that it could all the way around there. But now the sky has really turned into the limit, okay? There are going to be doors that are going to open up. There's going to be things that can happen. And more importantly, outstanding the fact that they've signed a deal with Fox Sports, and it's going to be unbelievable when it's all said and done.
Live events, a lot taking place in the spring, plus a lot also with the PBA League going back to Maine as well. That has to be that atmosphere that I see up in Portland. It reminds me of 1999-2000 when they tried the continuous cheering on CBS, and it lasted maybe a season. But it's a raucous crowd, and from the sounds of it, they know what they're doing. They know their stuff, and they really appreciate you guys.
They love us up there.
Yep.
My goodness. The only city I could really compare Portland, Maine to was Erie, Pennsylvania.
Exactly. I was thinking the same
Erie
thing.
It was electrified the minute we went in. I mean, the stands were full. The people were waiting at the doors at 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. And they certainly, you know, I'll say small town USA, Erie, Pennsylvania, but they know bowling and they know the thick and thin through in and throughout. Well, there is no question about it that Portland, Maine, and the people that show up there to support us, oh my God, these people,
yep.
That's what they look forward to every year. They know that we're coming back, and by the gracious of God, they're going to be right there at the door waiting for us.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a brick yet?
I do not have a brick yet.
Ah, okay.
I do not have a brick yet. The bricks are for the guys that have, they've knocked 10 pins over 12 times in a row, and that's a pretty special place to say that you've been fortunate to do that.
You've also had, I know you, going back a couple years, with how often the youth visit Indianapolis, we're going back in 2020 for Junior Gold. You were there a couple years ago, and you wanted so bad to get a banner at Woodland Bowl because they post banners of all the pro champions. And
yep.
When you beat Ronnie Russell in sudden death, you got that banner, and it was one of the highlights of your career.
It really was. You know, that tournament that day, Don Mitchell, may he rest in peace. I had the fortunate pleasure. He invited myself and Jason Couch and Doug Kent to stay at his house, and for almost 20 years, I was able to stay at his household while he was the co-owner of Woodland Bowl. And unfortunately, it never turned out for me to actually win a title there. And then when finally, the way that things were slowly unfolding, I led the tournament going into the Woodland Bowl Center when we had the arena setting for the TV show. And I wanted to win, believe it or not so much for the check and the trophy, but I wanted to win to put my banner at Woodland Bowl and say I was a champion here.
Brenton Sherman outside a little bit, but he maintains a 5-pin lead. Kelsey Krieger has made up most of the handicap here. Meanwhile, Zimmerman yet to strike on the right lane in this game, and Lazarchik is perfect through 4. I made the comment to Jason earlier here. I feel like it's 25 years ago with the ratio of urethane to reactive balls that I'm seeing out here now.
Yeah, it's amazing how urethane balls are coming down. Well, the younger players, they've really learned how to unleash or corkscrew the ball into the foul line, and it really allows the ball to pick up quick. And a player of my nature, the way that I learned the game, I get the ball out on the lane very much like a plane lands on a runway. I don't corkscrew it into the front part of the lane. Well, these players today, they can really unleash it. And, you know, the two-handers especially can unleash that ball and do things to a bowling ball that the average player can't. And when I say that, you watch somebody like Andrew Lazarchuk, he gets the ball right down into that front part of the lane, and he's still getting it out there, almost like that plane's landing, but he's literally landing on the beginning of the runway. So his ball will certainly pick up, but it's not just him. There's a wide variety of players anymore. They find that urethane ball, shutting down the lane, learning how to go straighter through the front part of the lane, is allowing them to really pick up their game and give them an opportunity that they've probably never seen earlier.
Lazarchuk up here in the 5th. Last time he was here on lane 36, he looked like he laid it right around down the 3 board and got it to come back really nice. Just about the same place.
Tell you what, that was a really, really good shot. If you look at the poise he had at the foul line, he had total control of everything. Just stroked through the ball nice and easy. The ball read the lane perfectly going through the pins. 10 straight back. Meanwhile, as Kelsey over here in the handicap side, she continues to make her spare. Unfortunately, she does have one open frame, but I'll tell you what, I got to give her a lot of credit. She's filling frames rather well.
Got it to about 10 there and comes in a little strong.
That one's going to be a little bit more of a challenge.
4, 7, and 10. 31 pins, the advantage handicap-wise for Brenton Sherman. Kelsey Krieger earlier today, she comes in with a 138 average. 127, 156, 170, 121, 187, and 133 were her qualifying games. Fills the frame, gets the 2, so she's got 88 after 6, with Sherman coming up here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, what's funny is Dylan Zimmerman's going to get on this right lane here. When he had that string of strikes totally locked in last game, that one mental shot, let me say, or what appeared to us that he was just nonchalant, easy, going there and letting it off his hand. And now look, he finds himself 2 frames down, 3 to go in this semifinal match, and he hasn't thrown a strike yet on this right lane.
Gets it over 15 at the arrows and makes them dance.
All right.
The first double of the match.
Little sigh of relief there. That wasn't exactly picture perfect strike in his eyes. Not when the ball was split in the 8-9 earlier, but it does say strike on the board, so he's pretty happy with that. As Brenton gets up here on a strike and misses the head pin going away there, but the fact that he put a strike on the board, he's going to keep this match interesting here in the handicap side.
I want to talk about something else from last year that you had a chance to be part of for the first time. You coached.
Yeah,
you got to coach the U15, one of the U15 runner-up team in the USA Bowling, and great group of girls that just could not get a break when they needed to carry a 10-pin.
They bowled so good the entire time. I mean, the tournament that they won to win to get out there, they bowled outstanding, filled so many frames. I mean, the whole team, all 6 girls were just outstanding spare shooters. And then they get out there and they do everything that they need to do, really come through in the clutch as a team, as a unit. That's exactly what they were. And the fact that they made TV, I mean, I still get chills thinking about it because it wasn't a matter of me being on TV. I was happy for them.
Yep.
That's what it was all about. And the fact that those girls got on there for TV, and unfortunately the way that the cookie would crumble, they could not figure out how to carry the 10-pin on the show. And we kept tweaking some stuff, maneuvering them around a little bit. And some things didn't unfold the way that we wanted it to. But I couldn't be more prouder of all 6 of those girls. That's for sure. Leslie and me were just elated by how much they kept themselves together and the composure that they had.
And they had to compete against the boys too. It wasn't like they were competing against all girls. I mean,
Yeah.
Spencer Robarge and his 3 teammates, they they bowled very well, and away from that team, they bowled very well too. So for them to really stand up and say, hey, we belong up here, that's a credit to those ladies.
Yeah, yeah. There's no question that the players that they were bowling against, Spencer and all the other young men that were on that team, they're good players. They're quality players.
Lazarchuk looking for 7. That got too far outside.
He's looking for 7. He's going to leave 7 almost. He throws it that far out there.
That got to about the 2 board. Krieger makes her spare. That's her first spare in 3 frames. And she's hanging around.
I'll tell you what, this is turning to be a pretty good match right over here.
Five on a spare for Brenton. Matt checking view count for the 99th time today.
Always. My goal is 100. Tell them 100 viewers. We're 20 away.
So that means we need a few more.
Well, live is okay. It's nice spare by.
Great spare for Brenton.
Live is okay. It's the archive numbers that I'd like to see down the road eventually too. I mean, you think about young Brenton here. I can't be more than 10 years old. You think 5 years later when he's looking at the archive, it's like, boy, did I look young.
He's probably going to be another foot or 2 foot taller too.
Exactly.
Oh.
And cannot get either the 5 or the 10 to fall.
That was a pretty good shot by Brenton too. That's the result of the gold pin shot right there. Normal circumstances, he's going to get 9 on that, and very possibly he could turn into a strike. Giving a little go for it, a little too much there.
Meanwhile, Lazarchuk spared on the right lane, spared on the left lane, maintains his lead.
He's in total control over there.
Max of 267 for him. Zimmerman 239. 28 is the lead. Zimmerman cannot afford to leave any more room for Lazarchuk, or he will be taking home 3rd place.
Yeah, Zimmerman, his back is to the wall. He's got to strike out right now, and he needs a little help from Andrew. And it's not just help by getting a 9 count. He needs the unfortunate frame there. There we go on that right lane again. Right lane, it looks like he's changed his angle a little bit through the front part of the lane. Must feel like his ball's hooking earlier, picking up a little too quick there, so he's trying to open up the lane, and the ball is just not recovering back the way that, well, let's say sincerely, the way that it was last game.
So over on the right side, Krieger with 8 and 1 did not convert the double wood, so she's got 124. She trails by 12. Will need a mark to stay alive, a double for any hopes of winning. Zimmerman with his spare, 148 and a spare, so 228 max for him. Krieger needs this one to come back.
It's a little bit wide there.
Needs to make this.
Tell you what, she makes this and gets a strike.
It's still a game.
It's Brenton's going to need 9 pins and 2 balls. So there's a little bit of work there, but more importantly, she has to make this spare.
That needs to hurry.
Oh, she got fortunate.
Just barely. So 124 and a spare for her. She needs every pin possible. And Dylan cannot get every pin possible. And
no, Dylan's tournament is about coming to an end here.
7
for 141.
Now Brenton does have a frame earlier in this game where he only had 5, but as the games have gotten later, he's performed well later on. That looks
like a winner to me.
And a strike is good to move on to the final.
pretty much when you need 5 and your ball's getting a piece of that 1 in the front. Not that you're guaranteed 5 at that point, but you're looking pretty good.
It will be a pint-size final in handicap. And Jersey versus New York in the scratch side, as Lazarchik has just about put this one away.
Now, are you picking on short people? Pint-size finals?
Well, you got 4'10" versus 4'11" over here at most.
4'10". You're giving him credit at 4'10" and 4'11".
Yeah, standing on chairs, yes.
Okay. But I'll guarantee you both of those competitors want to win just as bad as the next one.
That is true. 141 was the final score for Kelsey. Meanwhile, Brenton with 152. So Brenton moves on. And Zimmerman and Lazarchik will wrap it up here as the...
Well, and in the scratch side, I mean, with Andrew winning this game, there's no question that Michael Martell and Andrew dominated this whole entire event.
They did.
Yes. You know, Andrew started out just a pinch on the slow side where Michael seen it pretty much the first game and ran away with it. Andrew held his own, kept his composure, and did everything he needed to do to qualify second. Convincingly wins the first game, so we're going to pretty much watch what goes on here in the title match. But if Andrew keeps his ball right where he is right now, I think Michael Martell has his hands full.
When I came in about 3 hours ago, I talked to Jack, and he said, yeah, it's pretty much Michael and Andrew running away with everything. And here we are going to the title match with them facing off against each other for the victory.
Yeah. So, well, Travis, it's about my time to go do my duty again. So, Bud, thanks a lot for having me. And
you're welcome. You're welcome.
For all the viewers out there, we appreciate you tuning in. But more importantly, stay tuned because it's the title match coming up in the scratch division and the handicap division. And trust me, folks, when I tell you, it's definitely going to be every man or lady for themselves.
Parker, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming on here and joining us for the 18th year in a row, and we can't wait to see you over the summer.
Trust me, buddy, I look forward to it each and every year. Thank you.
Thank you. 267 for Lazarchik and I want to say 206 for Zimmerman, 203, excuse me. And let's give out third place awards here.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our semifinal for the 2018 Invitational. Our third place finisher in scratch, getting a $250 scholarship and award, goes to Dylan Zimmerman.
$250 for third place.
And our third place finisher in the handicap division, also receiving a $250 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to Kelsey Krieger. Okay, we are on to our title matches.
So Allison Stakowicz gets 75 and Brenton gets 86 handicap-wise, so it'll be 11 pins. Allison Stakowicz, she went 139, 161, 112, 127, 119, 167 on the handicap side during her qualifying for plus 75. For the scratch side, Martell went 175, 228, 279, 248, 215, 249, plus 194. Let's continue with our parade of champions here. We had mentioned we had gotten all the way to February. March, our winners were the three-person tournament at Clearfield, where Curtis Stidd, Eric Erb, Carlton Cummings in scratch. And then on the handicap side, Cole Regal, Eliza Shirk, and Bryce Lentz. March, Rose Bowl, Ryan Graham and Sarah Fennikel were the winners. Stanton Lanes at the adult junior were Dan Allhouse and Brittany Updike, Himmelreich. I remember her as Updike, that's why I can still call her that. Reese Little and Megan McGrayer won in handicap. Jay Lanes, March, or Jack Selmer and Chase Lechner. Jordan, Anthony Nyer, and Jonathan Polison were winners on March 31st. April 8th at Heaster, Daniel Althouse and Sam Bortnick. Callie Bazil and Cameron Carl were winners in the doubles, who both of which made the top 10 today. April 15th, Leisure Lanes. Winners were Michael Martell and Curtis Stidd, and also Jake and Becky Gilbert. April 22nd, Burke's winners were Anthony Nyer and Desmond Brown. The Baker tournament, Isaac Erickson, Tony Lutz, Colby Bennett, Ryan Graham, and Ben White in scratch. And it was James Cardinal, Martin Grace, Lucas Francis, Drew Masak, and Zach Valentine in handicap. Colony North in May, the winners were Jean Blair and Riley Smith. I had the privilege of being at that one. Saturday, May 12th, the girls only invitation, Olivia Farwell and Rebecca Bridigan. ABC North on May 13th, Tom Hankey and Cameron Shockey. Facenda Whitaker, excuse me, we didn't go to Facenda Whitaker. We went to Leisure for the 2 a.m. It was Jack Selmer and Gioletta Colon. Ryan Graham was the winner of the Bracket Survivor along with Reese Little. Jaden Schaefer and her dad, and Joe Palusic and Maddox Million were the winners in handicap. Daniel Allhouse and Rob Jennings won in the No Tap Pro-Am, and it was Anthony and Andy Nyer winning in scratch. Olivia Farwell winning the skins last night, and Andy Nyer winning the adult skins last night as well. Which leads us to our title match here, which will be Allison Stakowitz versus Brenton Sherman, and Andrew Lazarchik versus Michael Martell in scratch. Martell gets the option since he is the top seed. Allison wants to start. You're on. Josh back in here with me.
I enjoy what I do, but I'm ready to go home.
That's how we all feel at 9:30 at night at a
Yes.
PJBT event. One of these years he'll realize it's a school night, that his son has to get to school tomorrow. But not until both are in school.
Okay, PJBT fans, it is time for our 2018 Invitational Championship event. These bowlers who win this match and take home the title will be etched in PJBT history with their name on a banner, as you can see down in front of the lanes, for this year's champions.
Trust us, it's back there.
Side, we have number 1 seed Michael Martell taking on number 2 seed Andrew Lazarchik. Mike has elected to start the match on lane 35. On the handicap side, we have number 1 seed Allison Stakowitz taking on number 4 seed Brenton Sherman. The difference in handicap is 11 pins going to Brenton. And Allison, you said you want to start the match, correct? I gotta fix that. All right, Allison will start the match on lane 37. Bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our championship match.
Let's give a nice hand to only one more match. Is that what he said?
Yes. We kid because we care, folks.
Yes.
The rule with the PJBT brass is if we stop making fun of you, we stop caring about you.
Yeah.
And it is a tradition that we make fun of Matt. But in all seriousness, we appreciate all the work and time that he puts in for all of this. It is a labor of love that is equal to a second full-time job between marketing, scheduling, disbursements of scholarships, plus now with Matt doing everything through the MAPS program and Matt and Brittany doing everything themselves. It's a lot. So Allison Stakowicz will start. And she is giving up 11 pins, and she starts off with a strike. Martell starts with a strike as well. I now defer to you, Mr. Statistician. Has Miss Stakowicz ever won a title?
Yes.
I want to say yes. And
yes, she has. I don't remember when, but yes, she has.
So she's hoping for another trip to the winner's circle. Meanwhile, Brenton Sherman trying for something rare with first title coming in an invitational. Strike for Lazarchuk. We've had some darn good title matches the last couple of years. Last year, Ryan Graham and Martell came down to 10th frame. I remember Martell's first win coming against Patrick Mitchell. Brandon Runk winning in 13-14 that game. That came down to a 9th and 10th frame. Had some good winners over the years.
2 career titles for Allison Stakowicz, last year at Jordan, and she also won the Masters last year.
So she'll be going into next week as the defending champion.
Yes.
Out in the Lehigh Valley. So 18 to start off for Sherman. He gets 11 pins, so 29, and got to worry about fatigue with kids on the handicap side here because number 1, Stakowicz, she's been waiting in the wings since, let's see, we went on air at about 20 after 7. And she threw her last ball maybe at about 6:30. So without, other than a little bit of practice, this is her first game in a couple hours. Martell has been practicing steadily throughout the day. He's already told us that this will be his last PJBT as he is going to call Chicago home with going to Robert Morris University and gonna work full time and live out there. But he is going to fly back in for the Masters next week.
Why not?
Yeah. Another chance to win some scholarship money. Take on a good field.
Lazarchuk goes strike spare for his first and second frame to start the match. Martell up now for his second frame, working on a strike. And Martell does what Martell does best, a double. Allison
gets the roll.
37's looking pretty good for her right now. Strike, open, strike for Allison to start the match. Open, open for Brenton. Brenton looking to get his first mark of the game here on 38. Misses wide, leaves the 1-2. Very makeable spare.
Brenton's games, he shot 138 in the group match. With handicap, had 206 in the group final, then shot 149 against Julietta. With the handicap, he had 152 against Kelsey Krieger. And is now into, and goes 9.99 to start off. So 38. And it's a tie match right now as Allison has made up the handicap difference. So Martell, left lane, gets the 8 pin to go. Maintains the lead. The 9 continues for Sherman.
Even though we will be losing Michael next year, there's still a very accomplished bowler still living in that household that we're going to see a lot of too.
Mr. Mastriani. Who made the show today. Will continue to make the trip in from Staten Island and Brooklyn. Stakowitz, 7-pin. Good job today, sir.
Thank you.
Dylan Zimmerman, our third place finisher.
Conversion for Lazarchik. So he's got a little bit of adjustment to make on both lanes now. Stakowitz going to convert the spare. .48 and a spare for Allison. He's got a chance. Yeah, it's the strike. So 3 marks in a row for Stakowitz. 68 and a strike.
If Michael Martell would win today, that would be his 12th career title. Lazarchik would win his 7th career title with the win today. So 2 very accomplished bowlers over the last few years. And this would be Allison's 3rd title and Brenton's 1st.
Bowling Mom 523, I missed you too. Not sure your name, but there are many moms who I am used to seeing at championship weekend, and a bunch that I absolutely miss seeing. I wanted to make sure my wife had a practice partner for when we were bowling earlier today. She will be bowling the PWBA stop in 2 weeks, as will Olivia Farwell, as we learned over the weekend. And I'm sure a number of young ladies from around the mid-state. They'll be part of the field.
Great experience for the young female bowlers around the area to have that opportunity.
And if you want to see the ladies, this is your chance, because next year the closest they come is Cleveland, the first stop of next year. So kudos to the Bauer family for getting everything in place for that event. And also, from what I understand, Mo Pinnell will have a lane play seminar for ladies as well, which I think is almost sold out. So hope to see a lot of you there next Friday and Saturday. Stakowitz, 7 count on a strike, so it doesn't hurt her. She maintains a lead on a strike. Thankfully, it's not going to be as late a night as last night.
No.
I think I'll meet curfew. That's got to come back, and it came back too much. And 4, 6, 7 for Martell. Meanwhile, 9 for Stakowitz. So we go to the top of the 7th on the handicap side. That match is going to wrap up quicker than the scratch side. So we'll focus on that more here in the later going, as Stakowitz has a 33-pin lead. She's been able to put up all the marks here in this match. As, yes, that almost came out and got the 6-pin. Makeable spare for Stakowitz. So 85. We're going by max score, 265 to 268. So Lazarchik with a 3-pin lead. But it's still early on here in the 4th frame. So top of the 5th for Martell. Not going to come back and get it. So 105 for Allison.
6 count there for Brenton. Martel up now on 35, looking to get back on track. Much better shot.
So even though he's got more strikes, that one open puts him behind by 3 here. 16.5 miles an hour up the pipe on the left side as spare for Sherman. So 63 and a spare headed into the 8th. That's counting as 11 pins handicap. Stakowicz has 105.
Lazarchik now, his 5th frame, 7 pin. Brenton gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, gets 4.
Yep. So we can start talking magic number here for Allison. If Brenton were to make this, it would give him 77 and a spare at a max of 157, which would mean that Stakowicz would need 3 marks to clinch the title. That's going to get a few. So 4 and 3, 72, 83. So a maximum now of 143. And we're in a position where if Stakowicz were to double, put the whammy on her. 7 counts, 4, 7, 10. Meanwhile, Lazarchik had a strike on this lane the last frame. Can't get the 7 to fall. $112. The lead is 29 for Stakowicz.
Strike there for Allison.
That had to be Dad rooting her on, given the,
Yep.
come on, get down. So Stakowicz in the driver's seat, cannot be shut out. So strike, spare, spare, strike, spare, spare for Lazarchik. As Martel takes the lead on the bench again.
6 count for Brenton. This is a must-make spare if he wants any chance. He has to make this spare. If he does not make this spare, the match is over.
Looks like it got hung up a little bit. 2 count, 80, 91. Most he can get is 121, and Stakowicz already has 122. So Allison Stakowicz, your name's going on a banner. And the cup trophy, which is almost as tall as you are, is yours.
Michael coming up very light, leaves the bucket.
The count doesn't hurt because he was only on a strike, wasn't on a double. But he needs to make this to maintain an 8-pin lead. Threw that 1665, so he threw it a hair faster than normal and just couldn't get it back. '87, 98.
He's going to be upset, Brenton will be, but fine young showing for that man today. Fine showing for that young man, I mean, as Martel makes his bucket.
Only 2 people can say they got this far this year.
That's right.
And he's one of them. He had a heck of a day. .104 average, and most of his games were over average today.
Allison makes the 1-5, but go ahead.
I know what the kid's feeling, though, because the first time I was in a title situation, I lost. I cried crocodile tears. And then my dad said, we're going home. We got to go to the store. We got to shop for your great-grandmother. So there I was in the grocery store fighting back tears the whole time. It was really unpleasant when I had to go to the deli counter and said, can I have a half-pound of ham? True story. True story.
Final score of the handicap division, Allison Stakowicz 148, Brenton Sherman 98. Allison Stakowicz's third career title. And Michael goes through the face and leaves 6.
So a 4 count on a spare. But he can maintain the lead, believe it or not, depending on what happens here in the 7th. Two, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. Gets 4. So 127. In the 7th. Martel with a max of 217. Lazarchik with a max of 237. So Lazarchik's got a 20-pin lead as he goes in the 7th frame here. We will talk with Allison and the scratch division winner following trophy presentations and pictures. Strike for Lazarchik. He maintains the lead. Now can he add to it? Or will the pattern continue of 2 spares following a strike? And then it's going to be interesting to see how Martel will adjust on the right lane after leaving a bucket and a split.
Big shot here for Andrew. A strike here really puts the hammer down a little bit on Michael to show up the next 2 frames.
To keep the lead. And he
gets all 10.
And he gets the 7 to carry. Michael wants a re-rack. I can understand why that head pin's wiggling a little bit. I overheard Brenton's grandmother say that Brenton just turned 9.
It's a long day for that young man. He's on the right track.
Yes.
He's doing the right thing. Doing the right things.
And we have a little fumble here. Stand by. Camera down. Forgive us while we're out of focus for a little bit here. Find Jason. Strike for Martel. So while we fix the camera here, So Martell with 127 and a strike in the 8th. Lazarchik 117 and a double in the 8th. Martell, ninth frame, left lane. Strike. So 127 and a double as Lazarchik comes up in the bottom of the 9th. So 216 max if he were to strike here. Gets the strike, so 216 for Lazarchik, which results in Michael needing all 3 to win.
Test 1, 2, 3.
You there. Just making sure all the equipment's ready for the post game.
Okay, our audio should be back online.
It's simple. Michael, 3 strikes, and you win your 3rd invitational. 29, we have a tie. Anything less, and it's Andrew. Matt, every time you look, the number goes down.
We just shut down the snack bar for the 2nd week in a row.
That needs to hurry. Andrew's a champion.
Whoa!
No, it went.
Whoa!
I spoke too soon.
It went. That pin went.
Too soon.
Yes. Yep.
That's a strike. Nothing touched that.
Nope. We
Nothing
were watching.
touched it.
We were watching it the whole time.
We just saw the replay for that. My goodness. Now he's got to regroup. I mean, he went from being.
He went from losing to.
He went from dead to alive.
In the span of 5 seconds.
And we were all watching it. Thank goodness we were, because if none of us were watching it, then we wouldn't have known. Now he's got to adjust off of this. So Martel, 11th shot. Needs a strike. Now the math is in his favor. Anything less? And it's back to Andrew. Unreal. This is why you don't leave before the finals are over. You never know what you're going to see. Because if this were 10 years ago, if this were even 4 years ago, and nobody was shooting video for this, you wouldn't believe it.
As soon as he left go of that, all I heard was "that's in," and it went right through the 1-2. Unbelievable finish to that match. Unbelievable. What a match.
That was unreal.
By the way, you've heard me say it last year, Berks County team final. When my kid rolled that 10-pin, that was the exact same shot he did. The exact same shot, except it was the 10-pin, not the 7-pin. Exactly the same.
I don't think I've seen that slow a messenger ever that counted. My goodness.
Especially in a title match like this.
With everything on the line.
I mean, that 7-pin essentially ripped the trophy right out of Andrew Lazarchik's hands.
Yes. 217, 216 the final. Let's go down to Matt and present some hardware, and then we'll talk with our winners.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our 2018 Invitational. What a finish is all I can say about that. Well, we have some great prizes to give away. Our runner-up finisher in the scratch division getting a $500 scholarship certificate and award goes to Andrew Lazarchik. Our runner-up finisher in the handicap division getting a $500 scholarship certificate and award goes to Brenton Sherman. And an amazing finish to his PJBT career, our scratch division titleist. He is the first bowler in the PJBT history to win 3 invitationals over the last 4 years, a $1,000 scholarship, and the first place famous trophy goes to Michael Martel. And our winner in the handicap division, at the age of just 9 years old, you're never too young to win on the PJBT Tour, getting a $1,000 scholarship and her name on the plaque that will, or the banner that will be posted for the future. $1,000 scholarship and trophy to Allison Stakowitz.
Allison will be sitting here in the big chair in just a moment. Then we'll get Michael over here in just a moment as well. You just kissed me on camera. My wife's going to be jealous. You know that. Good seeing you all. 216 for Lazarchuk, 217 for Martell. That was great. And then final score. Hello, Fat Man. 148 to 98. Allison Stakowitz over Brenton Sherman. And the noise you're going to hear next is them taking out all the gold pins. So they still have to do all that yet. We're getting to see the replay again of the yeah, pretty much, as yeah, Brittany on the side here says the shot that will live in infamy. The 7-pin rolling at the last possible nanosecond before rolling off into the gutter and counting. And yes, it counted. We're just watching the replay here. He got it out, and we don't know what hit it, but it fell. And Andrew was walking towards the pin and walked back. It's like, oh, you're kidding me. Wow. So an unbelievable finish here. Let's get Allison.
Allison.
We're going to get you in the big chair here. You don't have to talk to the Fat Man. You get to talk to me.
Yeah, you don't have to talk to me much.
There we go. All right. Let's get a headset on here for you. There you go. All right. We looking good here? All right. I'm Travis. Nice to meet you. Congratulations. Way to go, kiddo. All right, first question. How tired are you? Because you started here this morning. It was 10 o'clock when we started all the ceremonies this morning. Then bowling started at about 11:30. You had about a 3-hour break in between here. How did you – what were you thinking during that 3-hour break here? Were you thinking anything?
No.
Or just you're just worried about, I got one more game to bowl here, and I get a big cup if I win. Is that pretty much it? No. We got nerves of steel here. Jeez. She wanted the big trophy. You're going to get it. All right, so how old are you?
9.
What school do you go to?
Clear Run.
Clear Run,
Intermediate
okay.
School.
It's late. We can forgive her here. So 9. How long have you been bowling? Couple of years?
Yeah.
About 10.
No. About like 4.
4. Okay, so you started back when you were 5. What's your high game?
A 200.
So you've shot 200 already. Okay. This is your second title here. You won a PJBT. You actually won Masters last year. So you got to defend your title next week. You don't get much time to rest off of this victory here. You get to defend your title next week at Masters. You looking forward to that?
Yeah.
All righty. How much fun is it bowling PJBTs?
Very fun.
Good, good. We're going to see you again next year?
Yeah.
All right. High five. Congratulations. You're a champ. How do you feel about getting your name on one of those banners out there now?
Excited.
Yeah, and that's going to be up here every year. I mean, regardless of whether you're here or not, it's going to be up there every night, and you're going to see your name, Allison Stakowitz, and people are going to mispronounce it for years to come. Congratulations. You're a champion. You've earned it. Way to go. Now go get some sleep, all right?
What does it take to win bowling tournaments, by the way?
Spares.
No.
Strikes.
No.
Confidence.
No.
PA Fats.
What? What about PA Fats?
The logo.
On what?
A shirt.
That's right. You put the PA Fats logo on his shirt, you win a bowling tournament. It's that simple.
Where did she have it on this?
She ordered it yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Okay.
Just like about 3 years ago, Sarah Fedical friended me on Facebook. The next day, she won the she won Championship Sunday.
It's all about PA Fats, isn't it?
Always
And,
is.
Once again, congratulations. Way to go. How about a nice hand for Allison here? Good job, kiddo. All right. Going to unhook you here. Let you pack up here, go home. Good job, kiddo. All right. I got to yell here. Hey, I owe somebody a piggyback ride. Get over here and get interviewed. So here's the deal.
Yeah, last time I had to do it.
That's right.
I still haven't recovered.
So let's get a better chair in here because
Yeah, I guess he doesn't need the high chair.
no, he doesn't need the high chair here. He needs my height here to in order to get everything going here. Get over here now. We're on live. We got this to do here. Your brother wants to get home.
Yeah, we all got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, we all yeah, all of us got to work tomorrow. You've got a flight at 6 o'clock back to Chicago. So okay. First of all, let's go back to the beginning of the day here. This pattern you probably never bowled on. Let me grab it here for you. It was Kegel pattern number 10, which the oil looked like about combined oil about 12 feet out, then all the way about to a 30 at about 40, and you had an alley down 1 through 5 to play. What were you throwing all day?
So I tried to start left like all the other lefties were. I tried to throw urethane out there. I tried to throw purple hammer, and everybody knows a purple hammer hooks 5 or 6 more than every other urethane ball on the market. So I actually couldn't stay out there. Just so happened I was following Andrew, who was playing 5. So I took, on the fill ball the first game, I took a smoother ball with fierce phobia. I went right to about 11-12 at the arrows. If I missed left, I had a little bit of help from Andrew because I was following him. If I missed right, if you look at the graph, we have a little bit of a flatter zone that the righties don't really have. So I had about 3 or 4 boards off my hand that if you have that much room, that's all you should need. I threw smoother ball on balls for the rest of the qualifying block. There's some shiny pieces, feet on pearl in match play. And then we got to this title match, and I saw Andrew really light it up with urethane, but again, I can't get it mine as up the lane as his. I tried reactive on that pair. I knew I wasn't going to get the corner pins out, especially with the gold pins. I tried to throw my urethane ball around the lane. I just so happened to get a break, man. God, I got a break.
I have to admit, and you'll hear this when you go back and listen to it, when I saw the 7-pin stand straight up, I declared Andrew the champion, and then I didn't see what hit it before it falls, and everybody, we were shocked. I mean, we even caught Andrew's reaction on camera. Just he turned back around, and it's like that took our breath away pretty much. And
Yeah.
you had to. I mean, that wasn't the match for you. You still had another strike and a fill ball to get to yet. How did you recover? What do you tell yourself?
I thought I lost. I let go of that one in the first. I knew it was close, a little far around it with my hands. So if I didn't get the corner out, I knew I was done. I saw the 7 stand. I said, all right, good ball on. I did what I had to do. It fell. I said, and I turned around. I looked at everybody. I said, this is bonus balling now. I get 2 extra shots to throw with a bleeding thumb and all. I get 2 extra shots to throw down the lane to try and win. If I don't win, I'm lucky I got an extra shot out of it. So, I mean, I think that was the right way to look at it for sure. Happened to throw the second one really good. Third one, I missed about 3 or 4 up the lane. Somehow got away with that one too. So, yeah.
And then you see everything fall. It hits you. You win by a pin. The jubilation followed by the realization, that's it out east for me here.
Yeah, it's crazy. You guys took me in as a part of the PJBT family. I didn't bowl every week. Sometimes I didn't even bowl every month. But whenever I was here, you guys treated me like family. I bowled these. This was I think my 6th or 7th year. Come away with 3 invitational titles. I think 12 total titles, and a lifelong of friendships. Is crazy. I've enjoyed bowling these. You guys do a great job with these. It's good to see you here, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
Definitely good to see you here. But, yeah, you guys, thank you for everything you guys have done. Yeah, it's crazy that this was the last one for me. I even said I might come back and bowl adult junior with some guys next year. I'll bowl as the adult for the first time ever. That'll be fun. But yeah, this is a nice way to go out.
All right, so you're actually going to come back for Masters next week.
I am.
You coming back for Best also?
I am not. So on Sunday, I was supposed to come home and bowl Best and then fly to Team USA camp on Monday. However, this year it looks like we're flying out on Sunday.
Ah, okay.
So because of how they have to have the flights set up, it doesn't really make sense for me to bowl because I wouldn't be able to bowl the finals.
Sure.
So at that point, if I can't, may sound selfish, but if I can't bowl for the 5,000, I don't really think it's worth bowling the 30 games that weekend. You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah.
So I'll stay home, I'll practice, I'll get ready for camp, and I'll go and enjoy the experience.
Then Junior Gold in Dallas.
Last youth tournament ever.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Last year was a really good year out there, out in Cleveland. I'm looking to do even more this year. I feel like my game's at a really good spot. I feel like I'm capable of doing a lot of things with the bowling ball. I feel like this could be my year out there.
You're going to Robert Morris in Illinois, out in Chicago. You're planning on staying out there. I don't think I've asked you this. What's your major?
Accounting.
He wants to be me and
Atta-
us and you.
Atta boy. He's private accountant. I'm public accountant.
Gotcha.
That's why we applaud your choice here.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like it. I'm actually, there's a class that I'm in this summer that they only offer during this time of the year. It's a QuickBooks class.
Yes.
So I don't mind any of this stuff I've really done. I like doing taxes.
Mm-hmm.
There were some other classes. Corporate tax accounting was pretty cool. I don't mind it. I like doing this stuff. And the good thing is if I want to do taxes and stuff like that, I don't need an office job. So I'm able to travel and bowl and have a little bit of a flexible schedule, and then I can do my work on the side, and I can make money doing both things, and it'll work out really well for me. So
I can't let you go without saying something about the three wonderful people in your life right in front of us here.
Yeah.
Your mom, your aunt, your brother. Give them a shout out.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been to my first PJBT, and I wouldn't have been to my 100th. My mom learned how to drive just to drive me to tournaments every week. She didn't even have her license. I never thought I was going to be this big into bowling. I'd never even bowled a competitive tournament. She got her license. She started driving me all over the country to bowl. She uses every dime she makes to send me all over the place to bowl. So, especially the three of them back there, my aunt pays for all my travel, pays for everything I need bowling related. So, yeah, here's my credit card. Use this, use that. So, and Anthony's
my wife's got a bowl a tournament in 2 weeks.
Yeah. But and Anthony's just a number one, I hate to use this word, number one cheerleader. Always rooting me on from the back. So thank you guys. Wouldn't be the same without you. I wouldn't be here. So thank you.
We've loved having you here.
It's been a pleasure.
I can almost guarantee an honor at the 20th anniversary whenever we decide to have that. If you can't make it, we'll Skype you in.
I will do my best. I will do my best to be there.
He's a champion, that's for sure. 3 out of 4, Michael Martell. Way to go, buddy.
Thank you, man.
I owe you a piggyback ride as soon as we wrap up here.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Well, that was the running joke every year with us, a piggyback ride if he won the invitation.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. That's going to be awesome. Thank you, man.
I'll give you a free meal, too, if you win the DVH shootout.
Oh, let's do it. That'll be fun.
Good job,
Thank
buddy.
you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. Michael Martell and Allison Stakowitz, our champions here. Let's get we'll get PA Fats back here in just a moment. I am just a small part of this anymore with the doing the TV work. I don't do all the stats like I used to. I handed that over to Josh. But my thanks to Matt, Brittany, the entire family, to Jason, to Josh, to Stacy, and everybody involved with the PJBT. Everybody who Matt thanked earlier today, I want to echo those thank yous as well. Also, thank you back home to my wife Jen, who lets me make the trip out to these couple events, and I promise I'll be home. I'll be home pretty soon. Mr. PA Fats, I've said my thank yous to everybody. I'm gonna let you wrap up here with who you want to say thanks to, because season's not over for you. You still got got Masters next week.
Yes.
Depending on how my wife does in Harrisburg will determine whether I'm
okay.
at best. So.
I'm not going to best.
Okay.
My kid actually wants to see that whole women's tournament.
Ah, okay.
So we're gonna do Friday and Saturday out there. So after next week, our season is over.
Okay.
Thank God I could sleep in on a Sunday.
And we're not. And there's nothing really going on over the summer with PJBT. With
nope.
with Matt moving and
Yes.
getting everything taken care of. So
Yes.
we're back at it in August at 222
Well,
Dutch.
yeah, probably about the last week of July. He'll be working on, finalizing the schedule.
Yep.
And then, let's pick a day and stuff envelopes. And
Yep.
all the fun starts again the third Sunday in August at 222 Dutch.
My thank you to you for doing
Hey,
this every week.
thanks for driving up.
Glad I can
You
help.
you are the expert. I am just the guy that makes a fool out of himself every week. That's pretty much what happens.
I've got a piggyback ride to give and a wife
Yes,
to
you
get
do.
back to. So
All right, let's
Thank
wrap
you
this
all.
up. Boy, we got a lot of people to thank this week and every. Wow. Let's see, who are we going to thank? We'll thank you. We'll thank Jen for all the help she's done. We'll thank
Yes.
Mom. We'll thank Pop.
Yep.
We'll thank Peaches, who does a lot of work for us.
Yes.
We'll thank Josh, Brittany, Matt, and there's no need to thank me. I'm the guy that has fun.
All the
Congratulations.
bowlers.
All the bowlers, absolutely, and all the parents that put in their time every single week to bring them here. Without them, this wouldn't survive. So, we will see you next Sunday. We will not do our live stream Saturday during qualifying, but it will be on Sunday. It'll be from Town and Country.
Yep.
For all of us, to all of you, thanks for joining us this entire weekend.
Photo bomber.
I'm gonna go home and go to sleep.
Me too.
See you guys.
Good night.
Whose was it? It's probably closed.
I was going to say, if you guys want to put on your website, if anybody's missing any of their stuff, it'll be at the counter in a box.